What's good, y'all? And welcome to A Good Man's Take On. I'm Will, and this is the topic of this video is what does he look like? He being a good man. Um, when I say what does he look like, I don't mean physically. We all know that, to each his own. Some people like him tall, bearded, muscled, chiseled, thick, fat, whatever. What I mean is, for what a good man looks like, let's say this. I'm the type, I look up a lot of memes, a lot of pics that say funny things and say real things, say deep things. I saw a meme that really kind of hit the nail on the head. It says, a lot of women say good men no longer exist. A lot of men say good women no longer exist. A lot of people don't know good when they see it. And that really brought up the point. It's like, well, what makes a good man, and how can I see, as if I was a woman, how would I be able to identify a few characteristics about a good man? You know, another meme I saw, it reads like this, and it's by Charles J. Orlando. It says, love the man who makes you laugh. Love the man who gives you his time instead of sugarcoating his absences with material gifts. Love the man who brags about you to others when you're not around. Love the man who knows the difference between fucking and making love and does both when the timing is right. Love the man who makes it safe to lay on his chest while he strokes your hair when you've had a bad day. Love the man who can stand in the background and watch you in the spotlight and smile without it threatening his masculinity. Love the man who thinks you are the sexiest when you're in the bathroom, hair mussed, brushing your teeth while wearing his t-shirt. Love the man who wants you to fulfill your dreams and stands by your side as you do so. This is the man who deserves your love, so love him. I think that that's an excellent depiction of what good love looks like, but it's also missing a lot of things that, you know, people oftentimes forget to look for. So this video is going to be dedicated to the things that women should look for in a man that may not necessarily be as evident as all those things that I just read off. One of the first things that a woman has to look for in a good man, what he looks like. He may not know how to love you right away. So you have to be patient with him. And the reason I say that is if you have a man who displays all those other things I mentioned to you, these are some qualities in this man that may not be as evident and that you may be like, well, he does all of this, but I wanna break down what some of those buts are. You really have to be patient with him because he may not know how to love you right away. Because what women don't understand is when a man falls for you, he starts questioning everything about himself. Everything. He says, am I ready to settle down and be the man she deserves? Can I protect her? Am I open to changing things about myself that aren't good for, building a relationship? Can I provide for her? All of these things go through a man's head whenever he starts falling for a woman. And he may not be able to readily available, readily available answer those questions. So, you have to be able to be patient with him in those things because he's still trying to answer those things. He's still being there for you and loving you the best he knows how, but you have to be patient with him through that process because he may not have the answers to all those things just yet. Number two, he's going to work his ass off. He is going to work his ass off for you. And what I mean by that, He's he may not always have the time that you want him to have, because as I mentioned before, one of the main questions that a good man, asks himself when he's falling for a woman is, can I provide for her? Can I support her financially? Can I support a family financially? So I remember I was in a relationship, and there was nothing in this world I wouldn't do for this girl. And when we first started dating, I was working minimum wage 5 hours a day. Nothing, making chump change. So we had all the time in the world to talk. I could stay up all night till 5 in the morning, and we could laugh and joke, and it was great. It was absolutely wonderful. It was long distance, but we made it do what it do with that time that we had. But the more I started realizing, okay, this is the person I want to be with, this is the person I want to build with, I knew I couldn't provide for her with that $10 an hour over a period of maybe 20-25 hours a week. That's nothing. So I said, yo, like, I gotta get on my grind. I gotta find a job, a real job. I gotta go back to school. And I did. And I went from only being busy 5 hours a day to running 14 to 16 hour days, going to school and working full time, because I knew I had to build a life that could provide for both of us. And women, you hear them all the time say, I don't care, I just want his time, and money doesn't matter to me. Please, 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 ladies, understand, love does not pay the bills. It does not. Love does not pay the bills. Okay, as much as he may love you and want to be there for you, want to spend all his ever waking moment with you, he cannot. He can't do that, because he has to provide for you. We can both do, yes, that's great, but, and I'll get into this in another video, there are specific roles that each person must play in a relationship. His role, as he sees it, is to provide for you, to protect you, to make sure you're straight. All of those things I listed before were nuances and side roads from those things. Protecting and providing and loving you. Let him do that. He's got to grind for you. He's got to grind for you. So you have to be patient and understand that he may not have all the time in the world now, but he's working so that he can give you all the things that he feels that you deserve, whether you feel you deserve them or not. Okay? Number 3. And I can see how this can come off as a double standard based on what I said before, be patient with him, and all those things. But a good man, he's not going to put up with your major insecurities. I know I got trust issues, but I know I'm crazy, but, you just got to love me as I am. No, that mentality is what has kept you single for so long. A good man, especially one my age, I'm about to turn 29 in 5 days. When you get to my age and you know your worth, you know your value to what you bring to the table, you want somebody. Yes, I've had my own heartbreaks. Yes, I've given out my own, things that I've hurt other people as well. But I've made sure to, whenever I go into a new relationship, to either make it evident as to what those things are and show that, yes, these are the things that I'm going through. These are the things that I've been through. These are the things that are hurting me. These are the things that I'm healing from. But I am healing from them and I'm growing from them. A good man knows his worth to you. He will know his worth to you, just like you should know your worth to him. You wouldn't put up with any and every type of bullshit. So it's not fair that you expect a good man to be putting up with your insecurities too. Some things you have to get over. Some things you have to grow from. Some things you have to heal. His job is not to heal you. His job is to love you as you heal yourself. And as you let God heal you. So you have to you have to be willing to let those things go. You have to be willing to grow from those things with him by your side. And a lot of these things that I'm saying can be, vice versa in terms of the relationship. Sometimes I may be talking to the fellas. These are some things you need to recognize about yourself as well. Number 4, he's going to have a past. As I mentioned before, there's some things I've done. There's some things I've went through. There's some things that, have hurt me, things I've done to hurt others. Some experiences I've had that were numerous. Let's just put it that way. But they help shape who he is as a man. So you have to accept him and those things. You have to be able to see past those things, not necessarily see past them. That's wrong phrasing, but you have to be willing to understand where he's coming from and what he's been through and how they help mold him into that man that he is, that loves you, that supports you, that cares for you, that's building with you. So those are some things you have to look at and understand and respect that he's been through those things and love him through those things and with those things on his back. He may have kids. He may have been a cheater, a dog. He may have, done some time. He may have, whatever his past experiences are, he may have been thought of the world, been out there. But if he's trying to be that good man for you, and you see that he's trying to be that good man for you, none of that should matter. None of it. And finally, number 5, he won't leave you unless he's pushed away. He supports you. He cares for you. He loves you. He wants to be there for you, but you have to let him. And that kind of ties into what I said about letting your major insecurities go to the past, because he knows his worth, just like you know yours. If every time y'all had an argument, he brought up that time that, you was texting some dude from church and it pissed him off. If every time y'all got in an argument and he brought that up and he just walked out, like, you wouldn't stay around for that. Why would you? But same thing goes for him. You can't push him away. You can't expect him to stay around if there's no growth, if there's no move past this, if there's no, we're in this for the long haul and we're going to do this. We're going to make it work. And he wants to be there and prove to you that all dudes are not the same. He wants those things. He wants to show you, everything you thought about love is completely different than what it is. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to show it to you. But love is a choice. You have to let yourself be loved. You have to choose to love and to choose that person. Ups, downs, goods, bads, happy, sads, whatever. You have to choose that person over and over and over. And that's what love is. So you have to move past those hurts. You have to move past those insecurities. You have to move past what you think, the idea of what you think love is, and let him show you what love is. Because a good man, I've been there. I've supported and loved and cared and cherished and built. And sometimes things don't work out. It happens. But grow from each experience. It's not gonna be rose petals and sunshine and happy meals and bunnies. Growth hurts like hell. It hurts like hell. But you have to recognize those things before you let go of a good man. So I say all that to say, there's some qualities in a good man that may not be as evident as he's there for me. I get to lay on his chest. I get to, he holds my hand. He tells his friends about me. There's some qualities about him that you may not recognize, but it's all a growth process. And that's the things that he goes through behind closed doors, trying to be the right man for you. And it's only right, if you're trying to be that right woman for him, that you go through those things too, and you recognize that, and you appreciate the fact that he's struggling with those things, and he's growing through those things to try to build with you. So, until next time, take heed to the lessons of your whole lifespan. Hold close to the Lord in his unchanged hand. Add faith, hope, love, and a real good plan. And ain't nothing in the world like a real good man.